What if the secret to unstoppable success is simply doing what most people avoid? Have you ever noticed how the hardest choices and toughest moments shape the strongest people? The work that feels uncomfortable, the challenges that make you want to quit. Those are the moments that build real power inside you. This video will show you why facing difficulty head-on isn't just necessary. It's the only way to become truly unstoppable. If you're tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure, this message is for you. You'll learn how to push through fear, silence excuses, and build a mindset that won't back down. Stay with me and discover practical steps that will change how you see hard work and your own strength. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about real change that lasts. Are you ready to step up and own your future? Let's get started. Number 1, push yourself daily to break through mental limits. You don't grow by doing what's easy. You grow by doing what's hard. The hard things are where your limits show up. And the hard things are the only way those limits ever go away. Most people wait until life forces them to change. They wait until their back is against the wall, until the bills are stacked, until the relationship is crumbling, until their body is breaking down. And by then it's already painful. But what if you pushed yourself before life pushed you? What if you trained your mind to be stronger than your excuses every single day? What if you stopped waiting and started taking full ownership? The truth is, nothing changes until you do. Nothing gets better until you get better. And getting better requires that you push through the walls in your mind. Those invisible barriers telling you you're tired, that you've done enough, that you're not ready, that voice isn't your friend. That's the part of you that wants comfort more than it wants growth. And if you listen to it, you stay stuck. You have to push yourself daily to break through those mental limits. Not once, not now and then, every day. You wake up and you take control. You decide who's in charge, you or your feelings. And if you can learn to take action when you don't feel like it, you're already halfway to becoming unstoppable. See, real discipline doesn't show up when it's easy. It shows up when you're tired, when you're bored, when nobody's watching. That's the moment of truth. That's where you either stay the same or break through. And the people who win in life are the ones who choose growth in those moments. You can't keep living like you've got unlimited chances. You don't. The days you waste aren't coming back. Every day you skip the hard thing, you're building the habit of staying average. And if you're okay with that, then nothing I say will matter. But if something deep inside you knows you were made for more, then it's time to stop negotiating with your weakness. Push yourself. That means do the workout when you're tired. Make the call when you're scared. Speak the truth when it's uncomfortable. Say no when it's easier to say yes. Work the plan when your mind is full of doubts. Because every time you do what's hard, you take back power. You reclaim your mind. You tell yourself the truth, that you are stronger than your old patterns. Most people avoid hard because they think it means pain. But doing hard things isn't pain. It's purpose. Pain is staying stuck. Pain is waking up a year from now in the exact same spot. Pain is knowing you could have done more but didn't. That's the kind of pain that never leaves. And if you're not careful, it becomes regret. You see, you don't build confidence by sitting around and wishing. You build it by showing up every single day and doing what most people won't. You earn self-respect by keeping your promises to yourself. You grow your belief by proving over and over that you can handle discomfort. And when you do that, the limits start to break. Your mind has built-in walls from years of fear, doubt, and failure. But those walls are not real. They only stay strong because you keep listening to them. And you tear them down by showing up every day and doing what's hard. Over time, what used to scare you becomes normal. That used to feel impossible becomes part of your routine. That's how you expand. But none of that happens by accident. You have to be intentional. You have to decide that your future matters more than your feelings. You have to choose action, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable, because that's the only time it matters. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and hand you discipline, drive, or clarity. That's on you. The world will reward your effort. But first, it tests your willingness to show up. So the question is, are you willing to put in the work, even when there's no guarantee? Are you willing to keep going when the motivation wears off? Are you willing to be your own rescue? Push yourself, because if you don't, life will push you. And when life pushes, it doesn't ask for permission. It takes, it shakes you, and sometimes it breaks you. But when you've already been training your mind to do the hard things, you're not shaken, you're prepared. You've already built the foundation. And when the storm comes, you don't crumble. You rise. That's how you become unstoppable. Not by hoping, not by waiting, by doing, by acting, by choosing strength when it's easier to be weak every single day. So ask yourself, what's one hard thing I've been avoiding? What have I been putting off because it's uncomfortable or uncertain? or scary. Now go do it. Today, not later, not when you feel ready. Do it now. Because the longer you wait, the stronger the fear grows. And the longer you wait, the weaker your confidence gets. This is your life. And if you want it to change, if you want to become someone the world can't ignore, someone your future self will thank you for being, then you have to take the hard path on purpose, the one most people won't take. Because that's where the growth is. That's where the power is. That's where you are. You're not here to just survive. You're not here to just get by. You're here to grow, to lead, to live fully. And none of that happens unless you start pushing yourself daily to break through your own mental limits. If it's hard, do it. If it scares you, face it. If it challenges you, lean into it. You don't need motivation. You need a decision, a clear, firm decision to stop holding back and start moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. And when you live that way, when you wake up and choose effort over ease, progress over perfection, courage over comfort, you start becoming someone different, someone focused, someone strong, someone who keeps showing up. And that kind of person becomes unstoppable. Now take a deep breath, stand tall, choose what's hard, and go become everything you were meant to be. Number 2, face your fears head on, without backing away. You will never feel free until you stop running from what scares you. That fear you've been carrying, that uncomfortable weight in your chest, that tightness in your throat. When you think about taking the risk, having the conversation, making the change, that fear has been calling you. And it will keep calling until you answer. Fear doesn't go away by ignoring it. It doesn't dissolve with time. Fear grows in silence. Fear becomes stronger every time you back away. And the truth is, you already know what's been holding you back. It's not that you don't have the answers, it's that you've been avoiding them. You see, every single time you avoid your fear, you lose a piece of your confidence. You train yourself to doubt. You teach your brain that it's okay to settle, to play small, to stay comfortable. And comfort feels safe until one day you look around and realize your life isn't what you wanted it to be. Fear is not the enemy. Running from it is. Fear is a test. It's a challenge. It's the doorway to the version of you that you've only imagined in your mind. And if you want to meet that person, the one with strength, peace, confidence, and fire, you've got to face what you've been avoiding. So ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And I mean really ask it. Not the surface answer, not the easy one. Get honest. Is it failure? Is it rejection? Is it being seen? Is it disappointing others? Is it leaving behind the version of you that made people comfortable? Whatever it is, it's costing you. It's costing you your energy, your clarity, your progress. And the longer you let fear run the show, the further you drift from the life you were built to live. You're not weak because you feel fear. Every person who has ever built something real felt it. What separates them is they didn't run from it. They stood there and faced it, and so can you. But only if you stop negotiating with the voice that says, not now, not yet, maybe later. That voice is lying to you. You don't wait for courage to show up. You show up, and then courage finds you. You take the first step into what scares you, and with every move forward, the fear begins to shrink. Because the truth is, fear only has power when you stay still. Think about what you could have already created by now if you had faced what frightened you. Think about the growth you could have experienced, the strength you could have built. That's not to shame you, it's to wake you up. Because every single moment you have a choice. Move forward or stay stuck. I'm not here to tell you that it's easy. It's not. Facing your fears will test you. It will challenge the way you see yourself. It will force you to confront the parts of you that have been hiding. But that's where the breakthrough is. It's in the discomfort, in the hard conversations, in the moments where you feel your heart race. But you move anyway. Some of you are afraid to speak your truth because you were taught that keeping the peace matters more than your voice. Some of you are afraid to fail because you think your worth is measured by perfection. Some of you are afraid to be great because deep down you don't believe you deserve it. And I want you to hear this. None of that is true. You deserve to speak up. You deserve to try. You deserve to go after what calls to you. Not because someone gave you permission, but because it's your responsibility to live fully while you're here. Playing small serves no one. Playing safe builds no legacy. You were not created to blend in. You were not built to be invisible. And that means fear is not your home. It's your challenge. And you don't become fearless by waiting for it to disappear. You become fearless by moving forward while it's still there. I've talked to thousands of people who felt paralyzed by fear, but the one thing they all had in common, the moment they stopped running, the moment they turned around and said, no more, everything began to change. And it didn't happen overnight. It happened step by step, breath by breath, choice by choice. That's how it works. So don't wait until you're ready. Don't wait until you feel brave. Decide that your growth matters more than your fear. Decide that your future is more important than your comfort. Because you'll never reach your potential by staying inside the lines fear drew for you. You may fail. People may laugh. You may fall short. But every one of those things is better than regret. Regret is the heaviest thing you will ever carry. And regret comes from knowing you could have changed but didn't. That you could have tried but chose to hide. Don't carry that. You're stronger than that. You are not here to live quiet. You are not here to tiptoe through life. You are here to rise. And the only way to rise is to walk directly into the things you once ran from. Think about the person you want to be. Confident, grounded, free. That person doesn't live in the shadows of fear. That person exists on the other side of it. And if you want to become that person, it starts now. It starts by facing one fear today. Just one. Start small if you must. But look fear in the eye and say, you don't control me anymore. And here's what's amazing: when you face your fears, people around you feel it. Your family notices. Your friends shift. You give others permission to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. And now you're not just changing your life. You're changing the lives of everyone who watches you step into your power. This is your moment. The version of you who always hesitates, always questions, always overthinks. That version has had enough time. Now it's time for the real you to show up. The bold one. The one who speaks clearly. The one who takes action. The one who doesn't let fear win. Do not wait another year, another month, another day to face what scares you. Do it now. Not because you're fearless, but because you've decided fear no longer gets to make your decisions. Face your fears head on, without backing away. Stand up to them. Breathe through them. Step into them. Because the life you want, it's waiting on the other side. Number 3, train your mind to stay calm under pressure. When life starts closing in, the person who stays calm holds the power. Pressure is the moment most people break. It's the moment when panic takes over, when emotions explode, when decisions become sloppy. It's in those high-stress moments where people lose control, not just of the situation, but of themselves. But you don't have to be that person. You can train your mind to stay calm, steady, clear, even when everything around you is on fire. This is not about being emotionless. This is not about pretending everything's okay when it's not. It's about creating mental strength so solid that nothing on the outside can shake what's happening inside. The world will throw you stress, problems, uncertainty, criticism, chaos. But how you respond, that's on you. That's where your control lives. You don't wait until pressure shows up to build this skill. You prepare for it. You rehearse it. You condition yourself for it. The strongest minds are not born. They are built in the heat of adversity, built in the middle of built when most people shut down. You become that person, not by accident, but by choice. Think about it. How many times have you reacted to pressure and made it worse? You snapped at someone you care about. You rushed into a decision you regretted. You froze and let the opportunity pass. That didn't happen because you were weak. It happened because you weren't trained. Training your mind is not something you do once. It's something you commit to every single day. It starts with how you speak to yourself. Most people lose the battle in their mind before anything even happens. They say things like, I can't handle this, or this is too much, and then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed. The language you use in your mind shapes your emotional state. If you want to stay calm, your words need to align with strength. When the pressure comes, remind yourself, this is not bigger than me. Speak with clarity. Speak with certainty. Your brain listens to what you say, and it follows that path, whether it helps you or not. But it's not just about self-talk. You also need habits that keep you steady when the storm hits. You need to build rituals that train your nervous system to stay grounded. Start your mornings with quiet, not chaos. Practice deep breathing when you feel tension rising. Reflect before reacting. Learn to pause. Learn to respond instead of explode. These things are not soft. They're powerful. Because in moments of pressure, emotional control is more valuable than raw strength. You see, calm doesn't mean slow. Calm means precise. Calm means focus. Calm means you're not letting fear or anxiety drive the wheel. You can still move fast, but your mind is still. Your decisions are clean. And when others around you are falling apart, you're the one holding steady. Do not confuse pressure with danger. Just because something is urgent or intense doesn't mean it's a threat. Most people treat stress like it's life or death, and they respond as if they're under attack. But when you train your mind You create space between the pressure and your reaction. You get to decide how to act. And in that space, there is freedom. Some of the most successful people on the planet didn't succeed because they were the most talented. They succeeded because in high-stakes moments, they didn't flinch. When the clock was ticking, when the deal was falling apart, when the crowd was watching, they stayed composed, and that composure gave them the edge. You have the ability to do the same, but it starts with a decision to stop letting stress dominate your life, a decision to stop letting emotions run wild, a decision to build a mind that holds steady under fire. And it's not just for success, it's for your peace. Think about how many moments in your life could have been easier if you had stayed calm. Fights avoided, bad choices prevented, time saved, energy protected. When you stay calm, you stay connected to your values. You stay connected to your higher self. That's not weakness, that's mastery. If you want to be powerful in life, learn to be calm in chaos. If you want to lead, if you want to win, if you want to walk through life with certainty, calm is your foundation. Without it, everything else crumbles under pressure. And I'll tell you this, you will be tested. Life will pressure you. People will challenge you. Unexpected things will happen. You will be tired, stressed, overwhelmed. And in those moments, your training shows. Either you've been building a steady mind, or you've been building a reactive one. So build wisely. Start now. Start today. When something small annoys you, breathe. When you feel rushed, pause. When someone triggers you, center yourself. Don't wait for the big tests to start practicing. Use every day as preparation. Train your mind when it's quiet, so you're ready when it's loud. And don't think calm means passive. No, calm people are often the most dangerous because they don't waste energy. They don't leak power. They act with precision. They don't get shaken. They lead when others panic. That's who you want to become. This is not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about becoming who you were always capable of being. That strong, grounded version of you is already inside. You don't need to build it from scratch. You just need to remove the chaos that's been covering it up. So from now on, when you feel pressure building, don't run, don't react. Recognize it as your moment. A chance to step up, a chance to stay centered, a chance to prove to yourself that no situation has the power to control you. You are the one in charge. You decide your response. You decide the tone. You decide the focus. And when you master that, when you train your mind to stay calm under pressure, you become unstoppable. Now stop letting pressure shake your peace. Start shaping your peace to handle pressure. That's your real power. Own it, grow it, live it. Number 4, wake up early and dominate the first hour. If you win the first hour of the day, you set the tone to win the rest of your life. That's the truth most people never realize. They wake up rushed. They wake up late. They reach for their phone before they even breathe. And from that moment on, they're already behind. They're reacting, not leading. They're in survival mode instead of performance mode. And that becomes their entire day, chasing, hurrying, drowning in distractions. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can flip the script starting tomorrow. Not by changing everything, but by owning the first hour after you wake up. Waking up early is not about being a morning person. It's not about trying to be like someone else. It's about creating space. It's about reclaiming your time before the world takes it from you. The first hour is the foundation of your mindset, your discipline, your direction. If you own that hour, you take control before life gets noisy. You move before the demands show up. You lead instead of being pulled. Most people underestimate what happens in that 1 hour. But think about it. The way you begin your day affects your energy, your focus, your decisions. It shapes how you respond to pressure. It decides whether you start with intention or chaos. And when you do it right, when you wake up early and dominate that first hour, you build unstoppable momentum that carries into everything else you do. But here's the thing, you can't just wake up early and do nothing with it. The power is not in the clock. It's in the strategy. It's in the purpose. What you do in that first hour has to move you forward. That means no scrolling, no hitting snooze 5 times, no dragging your feet. That hour has to be yours, and it has to be built on clarity. You start by getting up before the world expects anything from you. You rise while others sleep, not to impress them, but to beat your own patterns. You move your body, not to chase a number on a scale, but to send your brain a signal. I am in motion. I am alive. I'm not waiting to feel ready. I'm making myself ready. You take time to think, not about your to-do list, but about who you want to become. You sit with yourself in silence, or you journal, or you plan your day with focus. Because a person with a clear morning becomes a person with a clear life. That's not fluff, that's a fact. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to follow someone else's morning routine to the letter. You need one that fits your values, your goals, your truth. What matters is that you are intentional, that you start strong, start clean, and start without distraction. That 1 hour teaches you more than most people learn in a week. It teaches you how to lead yourself. It teaches you to take action before excuses can grow. It teaches you to master discipline, not by force, but by repetition. Every time you wake up early and use that hour with purpose, you build a pattern in your brain that says, I lead my life. I don't wait for it to happen. You stop being the person who reacts and become the one who initiates. And that shift changes everything. You might be thinking, but I'm not a morning person. That's a story. And you've been living inside that story because it's comfortable. It gives you permission to stay the same. But if your life doesn't feel the way you want it to, then the story has to change. And you don't rewrite it overnight. You rewrite it one morning at a time. Discipline starts small. 1 hour early, one day, then another. And the more you keep your promise to yourself, the more you begin to trust your own word. And let me tell you something. Self-trust is the fuel of confidence. If you don't believe yourself, when you say you'll change, you'll never follow through. But when you wake up every and show up with purpose, you send a message to your brain that says, I follow through. I mean what I say. It's not about waking up at 4 a.m. or trying to hustle harder than everyone else. It's about showing yourself that you are capable of leading your life with focus. That's what the first hour is. It's not a performance. It's a decision. So what do you do in that hour? You get sent, you protect your peace, you move your body, read something powerful, review your goals, write down your thoughts, prepare your mind. You don't allow noise in for your own voice is heard. That's how leaders think. That's how strong people live. You don't start the day wondering what to do. You wake up already knowing, because the night before, you made a plan. You didn't leave your life up to chance. And that kind of structure, that's what builds freedom. If you wait until the world wakes up to start your day, you've already lost ground. You've already surrendered your power to outside forces. But when you rise with purpose, everything changes. You gain time. You gain focus. You gain clarity. You create the margin you need to make good decisions. And that's where success begins. Not in a rush, not in panic, but in peace. As people never do this. Most people never even try. They tell themselves they'll figure it out later. They'll start next week. But time doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause. You either lead it or get led by it. So tomorrow, don't roll out of bed like it's a punishment. Rise like it's a responsibility. Sit with yourself before the day gets loud. Move with purpose. Set the tone. Speak the truth to your own mind before anyone else does. That's how you dominate the day. That's how you become unstoppable. By winning the first hour, while others are still asleep in their excuses. You already have the strength. You already have the time. You just have to claim it. No more waiting. No more dragging. Wake up early. Dominate the first hour and take back your life. One powerful morning at a time. Number 5. Say no to comfort and choose hard every time. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams. Every time you choose what's easy, what's safe, what feels good in the moment, you trade your potential for temporary pleasure. And what's worse is you don't even notice it at first, because comfort is sneaky. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It convinces you that you deserve a break before you've earned it. It tells you that you'll try tomorrow, that it's not the right time, that it's okay to stay the same. And before you know it, you've wasted a month, then a year, then a life. Nothing meaningful is built in comfort. Nothing powerful is born from ease. The people who rise, the ones who create, who grow, who lead, they all have one thing in common. They choose hard. When comfort is right there begging them to settle. Choosing hard doesn't mean you punish yourself. It means you stop protecting your old patterns. It means you stop looking for shortcuts and start looking in the mirror. Because the real battle is not between you and the world. It's between you and your limits. Look at the people you admire. The ones with strength, clarity, direction. You think they got there by choosing what felt good? No. They got there by choosing what felt right. And what's right is rarely easy. It's rarely soft. It's rarely comfortable. But it's always worth it. We live in a world where comfort is handed out like candy. Entertainment at your fingertips. Food delivered in minutes. validation on a screen. You never have to be bored, hungry, or questioned. But if you never feel discomfort, you never feel drive, you never feel fire. And without that fire, you stay asleep while your life moves past you. So the question is, how long are you going to let comfort win? How long are you going to make decisions that feel good now but leave you empty later? It's not about making your life harder just to prove something. It's about doing what is necessary, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about showing up to the workout when your body says, stay in bed. It's about having the hard conversation when silence would be easier. It's about doing the work when your mind craves distraction. That's what choosing hard looks like. And you know what happens when you do that? You grow. You build grit. You build mental toughness. You stop folding under pressure. You stop chasing motivation because discipline takes over. You look in the mirror and see someone you actually respect. Comfort tells you to hide. Hard tells you to face things. Comfort says, stay quiet. Hard says, speak truth. Comfort wants you invisible. Hard forces you to be seen. And if you want a life that matters, you have to choose the path that sharpens you. This isn't a motivational slogan. This is a reality check. If you keep choosing the easy road, don't expect a powerful life. Don't expect strong relationships, deep fulfillment, or real achievement. Those things are expensive, and their price is paid in effort, focus, and discomfort. Every time you choose hard, you level up, not just in what you get, but in who you become. And that's the goal. Not just better results, but a stronger you, a more honest, more disciplined, more capable version of yourself. But here's the truth. This won't be popular. People around you will question your effort. They'll tell you to relax, to take it slow, to not push too hard. But remember, they're speaking from their comfort, not your calling. And if you want to live a life that's rare, you must be willing to do what most people won't. There's no shortcut, no hack, no secret. You simply have to say to comfort and choose hard every time it shows up. And not once, but over and over again. When nobody's watching, when you feel tired, when it doesn't feel fair, when everything inside you says quit, that's where the transformation happens. Choosing hard builds self-respect. It teaches you that you can rely on yourself, that your word matters, that when you say you'll do something, you do it, even when it's inconvenient. And that kind of self-respect, it changes everything. Your confidence, your relationships, your peace. Stop lying to yourself about tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't change unless you do. And if you keep waiting for life to get easier before you take it seriously, you're going to wait forever. The pain of staying the same will always catch up. The question is, will it hit you by surprise, or will you face it on purpose? I want you to think about the moments in your life when you felt most proud, most alive, most clear. I guarantee you those moments didn't come from comfort. They came from challenge, from showing up when it was hard, from pushing through when it hurt, from choosing growth over ease. So now it's your turn. Look at your routine. Look at your choices. Ask yourself honestly, where have you been choosing comfort? Where have you been backing down when you should have stepped up? And more importantly, what would happen if you stopped? If you want to rewrite your story, start there. Not with a big goal, not with a dramatic change. Start by saying no to comfort in one small moment, then another, and another. Stack those moments. Build that habit. Watch what happens. Because over time, you become the kind of person who doesn't fold, who doesn't run, who doesn't settle. You become the kind of person who can be trusted with goals, with people, with yourself. And that version of you, that version doesn't need hype. That version doesn't need permission. That version wakes up and chooses Rudd every single time because they know comfort never gave them anything but regret. So make the decision today. Draw the line. Enough soft choices, enough hiding, enough wasting potential in the name of feeling good. You've got more in you, but it only comes out when you demand it. Say no to comfort. Choose hard every time, especially when it's inconvenient, especially when it scares you, especially when it's the opposite of what you feel like doing. And when you do that long enough, you won't just be different. You'll be unshakable. You'll be resilient. You'll be unstoppable. Number 6, show up strong even when you feel weak. There will be days when your body is drained and your mind is heavy, but those are the days that matter the most. It's easy to show up when everything feels right, when you're well rested, when you're motivated, when the conditions are perfect. But life is not about showing up when it's easy. Life is about showing up when every part of you wants to hide, pause, or disappear. That's what separates the committed from the casual. That's what separates the people who just talk from the ones who actually do. Every person who has ever built something meaningful has walked through days of weakness, days where they felt empty, days where they questioned their worth, days where nothing seemed to click. But they showed up anyway. And that decision to move when it would have been easier to sit still, that's what built their strength. That's what gave them their edge. Most people think strength means feeling powerful, but true strength is the decision to act when you feel the opposite. It's doing the work with tears in your eyes. It's speaking up when your voice is shaking. It's standing tall with doubt in your chest. That's the version of you that no one sees, but that's the one who's doing the real work. We live in a world that teaches us to only act when we feel good, to only show up when we're in the mood. But life doesn't wait for your motivation to arrive. Life doesn't pause until you're mentally clear. Life keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, it leaves you behind. So how do you show up strong when you feel weak? You stop waiting to feel ready. You stop needing everything to feel right. You decide that your values matter more than your mood. You make your action bigger than your emotion. And that's not pretending. That's not faking. That's discipline. Discipline doesn't mean you feel strong. It means you act in alignment with who you want to become, regardless of how you feel today. It's showing up because your mission is bigger than your current state. It's keeping promises to yourself when nobody's around to applaud. That's what builds trust. That's what builds identity. And when you start to live like that, you realize something powerful. You don't need to feel 100% to give 100%. You don't need a perfect mindset to take the first step. You don't need to eliminate fear. You just need to stop obeying. Too many people are waiting to feel their best before they act. They're waiting to feel confident before they speak, waiting to feel motivated before they move. But that moment rarely comes. And if you live like that, your whole life becomes a waiting room. Showing up strong means choosing to keep going while you carry the weight, not ignoring it, not suppressing it, but walking forward with it anyway. That's what real power looks like. Not the absence of pain, but the refusal to let it define you. You're gonna have days when everything in your life feels like a fight, when your mind is loud, when your energy is gone, when people don't understand what you're carrying. And that's exactly when you need to remind yourself, you are not a slave to your situation. You have the power to rise above how you feel. It might not be pretty, it might not be polished, but it will be real. And that real, raw action, that's where progress lives. That's where you earn your growth. Strength is forged in weakness, not in avoiding it, but in facing it, looking it in the eye, feeling the discomfort, and choosing to lead yourself through it. No shortcuts, no waiting, just action, controlled, focused, committed. Every time you show up while feeling weak, you rewire your brain. You prove to yourself that you are capable, even when you're not confident. You build the muscle of self-respect, and that muscle carries you when motivation fails. Think back to your own life. Think about the moments that shaped you. I guarantee they weren't the easy ones. They were the ones that tested you, broke you open, exposed the parts of you that needed growth, and still you got up. You kept going. That was strength. That was victory. You don't have to feel strong to be strong. You just have to refuse to quit. And this isn't about doing everything perfectly. This is about doing something anyway. Maybe it's one conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a step toward healing. Maybe it's simply getting out of bed and moving forward. That counts. That matters. That is strength. You want to build a life that lasts, a mindset that carries you through chaos. Then show up when you're tired. Show up when it's quiet. Show up when you feel unseen. That's where your foundation is built. Not when the spotlight is on, but when no one's watching and you're still giving your best. The goal isn't to feel strong all the time. The goal is to act with strength, even when the weight is heavy. So next time the doubt shows up, don't fight it, outwork it. Next time the fear whispers, you can't, speak back. Watch me. Next time your body says stop, but your heart says just a little more. Listen to the heart. That's the voice that's trying to pull you forward. You've got more inside you than you've shown the world. More than even you believe, but you won't unlock it by hiding. You won't discover it by staying down. You only find it by standing up when your knees shake. You only access it by choosing to lead yourself out of the fog. And here's what's beautiful. Every time you do this, you light the way for someone else, someone who's struggling, someone who's ready to quit. When you rise, you give them a reason to rise too. And that's impact. That's leadership. That's legacy. So no matter how hard it feels today, you up. Maybe not with fire, maybe not with force, but with presence, with intent, with the quiet strength, someone who refuses to give up. This is not about feeling perfect. It's about refusing to quit when you feel broken. It's about choosing your higher self when your current self wants to shut down. That's what builds warriors. That's what builds leaders. That's what builds unstoppable humans. So here's your call. Show up strong, even when you feel weak, especially when you feel weak, because those are the days that shape you. Those are the moments that redefine you. Not someday, not later. Now, right now, stand up, breathe deep, and move forward with power. Number 7, commit fully to your goals without holding back. Half commitment is the slowest way to kill a dream. If you have a goal, a vision, a mission you say matters to you, then stop dipping your toe in. Stop holding back just in case it doesn't work. Stop hedging your bets, because playing it safe is the fastest way to stay exactly where you are. You don't build a powerful life with one foot in and one foot out. You build it by going all in, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. People want success, but they want it without risk. They want the rewards, but they don't want to be uncomfortable. So they try a little. They wait to feel certain. They start, but they don't finish. And what they don't realize, every time you hesitate on your goals, you teach yourself that your dream doesn't matter that much. Every time you put it off or do it halfway, you send your own mind the message, this isn't worth fighting for. But when you commit fully, when you show up without backup plans, when you decide there's no turning back, you activate something powerful inside you. That's when focus sharpens. That's when energy doubles. That's when you find out what you're really capable of. Because when you stop giving yourself the option to quit, you stop needing motivation to continue. Look at the most driven, unstoppable people you know. What separates them isn't talent. It's not timing. It's not luck. It's that when they set a goal, they burn the bridge behind them. They don't negotiate with excuses. They don't lower the target when it gets tough. They raise their effort. They raise their standard. And they keep going until the result shows up. You can't cheat commitment. You can't fake full effort. It shows in how you work. It shows in what you say yes to. It shows in what you say no to. If you're serious about your goal, you'll do the hard thing. You'll make the sacrifice. You'll adjust your life to fit your priorities instead of adjusting your priorities to fit your distractions. You will not grow by staying in your comfort zone. You grow when you decide that your excuses don't get to run your life anymore. You grow when your reason to keep going gets louder than your fear of failure. And that only happens when you're fully committed. Not half, not maybe, all the way. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time doesn't exist. There is only this time, right now. You don't need more information. You don't need another sign. You need to decide that this matters more than your doubts. You need to stop standing on the sidelines and get in the game. No more testing the waters. Dive in. And I know what you might be thinking. What if it doesn't work? What if I give everything and still fail? But here's what you're missing. Failure is part of commitment. Committing fully doesn't mean you'll never fall. It means you'll never stay down when you do. It means you'll use failure to grow instead of using fear to shrink. And if you're waiting to feel confident before you commit, you're going to wait forever. Confidence doesn't come before commitment. It comes from commitment, from doing it scared, from showing up when you're unsure, from proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who follows. You build belief by doing hard things. You build momentum by staying consistent when it's boring, when it's quiet, when nobody claps for you. That's a real success is earned in the moments no one sees. When you show up anyway, when you stay focused while others drift, when you choose the mission over the mood. Ask yourself, are you interested or are you invested? Because interest shows up when it's easy, but investment stays when it's hard. Interest shows up when it's convenient, but commitment shows up no matter what. So many people sabotage their own progress by never going all the way. They talk about the goal, they write it down, they imagine what life would be like if they had it, but they never truly commit to it. They don't sacrifice for it, they don't prioritize it, and then they wonder why nothing changes. You can't wish your way to greatness. You can't half try your way to fulfillment. You have to show up every day like your goal is life or death, like your future depends on what you do now, because it does. What you do today writes the story you'll live tomorrow. And if that story doesn't excite you, then none have work to do. This is about deciding once and for all that your goals are not optional. They're not hobbies. They're not if I have time kind of things. They are your due, your responsibility, your commitment to yourself, because no one's gonna care as much as you. No one's coming to push you. If you want it, really want it, then it's on you to make it happen. And you know this. Deep down you know it. You've had moments where you felt the fire. You've had moments where you dreamed bigger, where you believed it was possible. Don't let that version of you fade away. Bring them back. Feed that fire. Fuel that vision. And act like it matters. Because it does. It's time to stop hesitating. Stop questioning your value. Stop giving energy to distractions that steal from your future. The longer you wait to commit, the harder it gets. Life doesn't reward maybe. Life rewards certainty. It rewards people who move boldly, who decide with conviction, who take action without dragging their feet. And don't just commit in your head. Commit with your time. Commit with your habits. Commit with your attention. Your calendar should reflect your values. Your actions should reflect your dreams. If they don't, then your commitment is just a wish. This is the moment. This is where everything shifts. Not because something magical happens, but because you happen. You step up. You go all in. You close the door on plan B and build plan A like it's the only way forward. You are not too late. You are not too far behind. You are exactly where you need to be to start living differently. But you've got to stop holding back. No more dipping your toe in. No more waiting to be ready. You commit now. You go all in now. You show yourself that you're done playing small. Because once you commit fully, you move differently. You think clearer. You act stronger. You live bolder. And that's where transformation begins. So ask yourself, are you ready to be the person who doesn't quit, who doesn't coast, who doesn't live halfway? If the answer is yes, then now is your moment. Commit fully, without hesitation, without backup plans, without fear. Go all in on the life you were meant to build, and never look back. Number 8, silence your excuses and take full control today. You will never rise if you keep protecting your excuses. Every day you wait is another day. You hand your life over to fear, to distraction, to that voice inside that keeps telling you, not now, maybe tomorrow. But here's the truth. Tomorrow is the most dangerous word in your vocabulary. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Tomorrow is where potential stays locked up. You don't need another day. You need a decision, and that decision is this. Silence your excuses and take full control today. Excuses feel safe. They make you feel like you're off the hook. They give you a reason not to try, not to fail, not to be seen. But underneath every excuse is one thing: fear. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of being judged. Fear of failing. And until you face that fear, your excuses will keep running your life from the shadows. Look around. Most people are stuck, not because they're incapable, but because they've built their identity around excuses. I don't have time. I'm too tired. It's not the right moment. These sound like reasons. They sound logical, but they're just stories. Stories that protect your comfort and kill your growth. You have to get honest with yourself. Brutally honest. What have your excuses cost you? What opportunities slipped through your fingers because you hesitate? What goals have you buried under someday? How many days have you let pass without giving your full effort? Because it was easier to blame something else. Taking control starts when you stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you don't have time. You do. You just spend it on things that don't move you forward. Stop saying you're not ready. No one ever is. Readiness is a myth. You get ready by moving. You get stronger by doing. Stop saying you're too tired. Energy comes from action, not from overthinking. Stop saying I'll start after this or that. Start now, because now is all you really have. This is not about guilt, it's about power. Because when you realize that the only thing standing in your way is you, that's when you take the power back. Not your boss, not your family, not your circumstances. You, your choices, your attitude, your actions. You are not a victim. You are not stuck. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are shaped by how you respond. And every excuse you silence is one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. And yes, this is hard. It's hard to admit you've been getting in your own way. It's hard to confront the fact that your habits don't match your dreams. But what's harder is waking up 10 years from now in the exact same place, wondering why nothing changed. You don't need motivation. You need to grow up mentally. You need to understand that life is short and time is unforgiving, that no one is coming to save you, that you have everything it takes, but you'll never know it if you keep giving yourself permission to stay small. And this isn't about being perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to leap over mountains overnight. You just need to decide that your excuses no longer have a voice at your table. You need to recognize them when they show up, call them out, and shut them down. That means getting clear about what you want, not Buick, not soft, crystal clear, because clarity kills excuses. When you know exactly what you want, it becomes harder to tolerate distractions. When your vision is sharp, your behavior starts to align. You stop wasting time. You stop tolerating effort. And when the excuses come, and they will, you meet them with discipline, not emotion. Discipline. You say, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. You say, this is uncomfortable, but I choose growth. You say, I might not be the best yet, but I refuse to quit. That's what taking control looks like. Not in your words, but in your choices. You want to change your life? Then take ownership of every decision from this moment forward. No blaming, no waiting, no wishing, just full responsibility. That means owning your time, your energy, your direction. That means saying no to what weakens you, and yes to what builds you. And the moment you stop negotiating with excuses is the moment you start living with freedom. Because freedom isn't about having less to do. It's about having the power to do what matters. Regardless of how you feel, you already know what to do. The problem isn't knowledge, it's action. You already know what habits to break, what habits to build, what people you need to distance from, what conversations you need to have. You know, but knowing is not enough. You have to do. So today you draw the line. Today you stop being a prisoner of your own patterns. Today you stop feeding weakness and start building strength. One choice, one action, one moment of courage at a time. This is your turning point, not next week, right now. You've waited long enough. You've overthought long enough. You've made the same excuses for years. And where has it gotten you? The life you want won't come from a shortcut. It won't come from being safe. It will come from taking ownership, no matter how uncomfortable that gets. Don't let another day slip by with half-hearted effort. Don't let your potential stay trapped behind your excuses. Don't live another week explaining to yourself why you haven't started. Choose now, choose effort, choose discomfort, choose you. Because when you silence the excuses, you hear the truth. And the truth is, you are capable, you are strong, you are ready. But none of that matters if you don't act on it. So this is the challenge. Cut the excuses, kill the distraction, control your day like your life depends on it. Because it does. You are not average. You are not meant to live on autopilot. You are here to lead your life, not follow it. Silence your excuses and take full control today. Because today is the only day that matters. Number 9, stay focused when distractions scream for attention. If you can't control your focus, you'll never control your future. We live in a time where the world is pulling at your attention every single second. Notifications, messages, ads, endless scrolling. Every screen is designed to distract you. Every sound, every buzz, every ping is a trap. And most people fall for it. They say they want success. They say they want growth. But they give their energy to noise. They say they want to win. But they keep chasing what's urgent instead of what's important. You can't build anything meaningful when your mind is scattered. You can't chase a goal when you're chasing every distraction. And here's the part no one tells you. Distraction is not just a habit, it's a choice. Every time you look away from what matters, you choose to move further from who you could become. You say you want to be focused, but how many hours have you already given away today? How many minutes did you trade for nothing? How many times did you reach for your phone? Not because you needed it, but because your mind has been trained to run from discomfort. This isn't just about productivity. This is about your power. This is about taking your life back from the things that steal your attention without your permission. Because make no mistake, attention is currency. And right now, someone else is spending yours. You want to do something right. Learn how to sit with your work while the world screams for your attention and still not flinch. That's rare. That's powerful. That's what leaders do. Every great accomplishment was built by someone who knew how to say no. Not once, not occasionally, constantly. No to interruption, no to distractions, no to anything that didn't serve the mission. That kind of discipline doesn't happen on accident. It's trained, it's earned, it's built every time you choose to stay focused. When it would be easier to give in, and yes, it's hard. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort, to seek novelty, to chase pleasure. But that part of your mind isn't trying to help you grow. It's trying to help you survive. And you weren't born to just survive. You were born to build, to rise, to lead. So the next time distraction calls, don't just ignore it. Understand what it's really saying. It's not just a break. It's not just a few minutes. It's a test of who's in charge, your purpose or your impulses. Look around you. Look at the people who talk about change but never take real steps, who set goals and break them in the same breath. You think they're lazy? No, they're reserved. They've given their best energy to things that don't matter. And now they wonder why their life feels empty. But that doesn't have to be your story. You have a choice. You can take your focus back. You can reclaim your attention. You can build a mind that works for you, not against you. Start simple. Start by identifying what matters most today. Not this week, not someday, today. Then protect that time like your future depends on it, because it does. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Say no to shallow conversations. Log out of whatever keeps you from locking in. Be ruthless about your time. Be brutal with your schedule. Not because you want to be perfect, but because you want to be present. Fully in, fully locked, fully here. When you train your focus, you train your future. You build momentum. You finish what you start. You get clear. You stop reacting and start deciding. And when you start living like that on purpose, with intention, you become dangerous. You become rare. You don't need to be smarter. You don't need more talent. You need less noise, less chaos, less just checking, less one more scroll. Because every time you check out, you delay what you say you want. And deep down, that starts to hurt. You begin to feel out of alignment with your own goals. That internal friction, that sense of falling short, that's not failure. It's feedback. Your life is trying to get your attention. Your future is asking you to show up. But if you can't stay focused, you won't hear it. And if you can't hear it, you'll keep settling for less than what you were made for. Your greatness is not a goal. It's in your ability to stay locked in when everything around you tries to pull you off track. It's not in motivation. It's in presence, in stillness, in the ability to sit down, cut the noise, and give your full effort to what matters most. So here's what you do. Every time distraction shows up, recognize it for what it is. It's not harmless. It's not innocent. It's resistance. And resistance always shows up strongest right before a breakthrough. So lean into the work. Stay when it gets boring. Stay when it gets hard. Stay when it gets quiet. That's where the real growth happens. Build systems. Build routines. Not to be rigid, but to create space for depth. To give your focus somewhere to land. Because without structure, distraction wins. Without discipline, you drift. Be the kind of person who finishes what they start, who keeps promises to themselves, who doesn't need external pressure to stay locked in. That kind of discipline, that's your edge. That's what sets you apart. And when you mess up, and you will, don't spiral. Don't shame yourself. Just reset. Get back to what matters. Don't lose a day over a bad hour. Don't lose a week over a few bad decisions. Just refocus, realign, restart, and keep moving forward. There is no such thing as perfect focus, but there is such a thing as relentless focus. And that's what you're building now. Not because it's easy, but because your future is worth it. You are surrounded by noise. You are surrounded by options, but none of it means anything if you can't stay locked on the one thing that actually moves you forward. Make that your standard. Make that your goal. You don't need more time. You need more attention. You don't need to hustle harder. You need to cut deeper. Eliminate what doesn't matter. Prioritize what does. Stay focused when distractions scream for attention. Not once, not sometimes, but every time. That's how you win. That's how you grow. That's how you become unstoppable. So today, right now, turn the volume down on the world and turn the focus up on your future. Own your time, protect your peace, direct your energy, and show the world what happens when a focused mind meets a clear mission. Number 10, do the hard work now to earn self-respect. Nothing builds your character faster than doing the hard work no one else wants to do. There's a quiet power in pushing yourself beyond the easy path. When you choose to do what's difficult today, you aren't just working toward a goal. You're building a fen of respect inside yourself that no one can take away. Self-respect is not handed to you. It's earned moment by moment by the choices you make when no one's watching. Most people avoid hard work because it's uncomfortable. It's sweaty. It's frustrating. It demands patience when instant gratification screams louder. But here's what they miss. That struggle is the gateway to pride. The grind is the pathway to dignity. The sacrifice you make now becomes your armor later. Think about the last time you accomplished something tough. How did it feel? Not just proud in the moment, but deep down. That feeling of having given your best even when it hurt, even when you were tired, even when the world wasn't clapping for you. That's self-respect. That's you telling yourself, I am someone who follows through. I am someone who honors my word. I am someone who refuses to settle. No one else will respect you more than you respect yourself. If you don't show up for your goals, if you quit when things get rough, if you settle for shortcuts, you send a message, not just to the world, but to your own heart, that you don't believe in your worth, that you don't believe you deserve more. And nothing will kill your drive faster than that. Hard work is messy. It doesn't come with guarantees. It tests your patience. It demands that you put aside distractions and excuses. It asks you to be uncomfortable, to be persistent, to be relentless. But every minute you invest in that work adds a brick to your confidence. It strengthens your resolve. It proves to you that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up on days you feel like quitting. It's about pushing when your energy is low. It's about doing the small things with big commitment, because you know those small things add up. Self-respect doesn't come from winning only. It comes from the effort you put in during losses. It's in the way you carry yourself when no one's applauding. It's in the courage to face your flaws and improve, instead of hiding from them. The hardest battles you fight are inside, and winning those battles creates a pride that can't be stolen. Imagine living every day knowing you gave your absolute best. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing a person who doesn't back down from challenge, who doesn't make excuses, who doesn't wait for motivation but makes discipline their weapon. That's the person who commands respect from themselves first, then from everyone else. The world respects those who respect themselves. When you work hard consistently, your self-worth rises naturally. You stop needing others' approval because your own judgment becomes your standard. You stop chasing validation because you've validated yourself through your action. It's not easy to choose hard work when comfort is calling your name. But comfort never made anyone great. Comfort never built champions. Comfort keeps you in the same place, watching others move ahead, and you owe it to yourself to live a life bigger than comfort. Hard work is a daily decision. It's waking up early when you want to stay in bed. It's grinding when the excitement fades. It's sacrificing distractions for discipline. It's staying focused when results feel slow. Each choice is a vote for who you want to become. No one will hand you respect or success on a silver platter. You must earn it with sweat, struggle, and sacrifice. Every time you push through a tough moment, you are casting a vote for your own greatness. You're declaring that you refuse to be average, that you refuse to quit, that you value yourself enough to keep moving forward. Remember this: self-respect is not a feeling, it's a habit. It grows when you act in ways that honor your goals and your values. It disappears when you view into excuses and distractions. It lives in the discipline you build, the promises you keep, and the hard work you do when no one's watching. And if you stumble, don't see it as failure. See it as a lesson, a chance to prove your commitment at men. The road to self-respect is not straight or easy. It's filled with obstacles. But every time you get back up, you build resilience. You build character. You build pride. You are worth the effort it takes to do the hard work. Your dreams deserve the fight. Your future deserves the patience. Your self-respect deserves the commitment. So start today. Do the work others avoid. Make the sacrifices others won't make. Push beyond your limits and keep going when others quit. Build a life where you can look in the mirror with pride, because the hardest work you do now will pay the greatest dividends in self-respect tomorrow. This is your moment to choose. Choose hard work. Choose respect. Choose yourself.